Here is the blues matrix, okay? Let's not really focus on the names or the icons at the moment, but let's just focus on the bar and the color. You can see there's 12 boxes and they're all different colors, right? So I'm gonna play you a demonstration of this using a 12 bar blues progression from YouTube in the key of A. So the way the 12 bar blues works is that it's always this pattern, okay? The first 4 bars are the 1 chord, which in this instance will be A. So that's represented by red. Then the next 2 bars, which is bars 5 and 6, are the 4 chord, which is represented by white. And in the key of A, the 4 chord is D. And then we go back to the A chord for bars 7 and 8, represented by red. Then we go to the 5 chord, which is represented with the color green, and in the key of A, it's E, or E7, rather, they're all dominant 7th chords. Then we go back briefly for one more bar to the 4 chord, which is white, one more bar of the 1 chord, and then we finish up with, technically bar 12 starts on the 1 chord and then ends on the 5 chord, but it's mostly 5 chords, so I'm going to represent it here with green. So I am going to now play a 12 bar blues in A, and I'm going to highlight with the mouse what bar we're on, and I'm going to count it so you can kind of understand what's going on. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Still on the A. 3, 2, 3, 4. Bar 4. 4, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to D. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. Back to A. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. Up to E. 2, 3, 4. Back to 4. 2, 3, 4. Back to the 1. A. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that was 12 bars. So a lot of times when someone's learning the blues or just guitar soloing in general, it's kind of hard. You get stuck noodling over over like scale shapes and scale patterns, and it doesn't really sound very flavorful or complex. It just sounds like you're just noodling over a scale. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do some noodling so you can get what that sounds like. I'll just do it for one progression. All right, so that's not terrible, but it doesn't sound have much color or flavor. So the point of this app is to have a roadmap of different techniques you're going to use instead of just wandering around in the scale. And it's going to make your solo sound way better. So like a double stop is like when you play 2 notes from the chord at the same time, like a chord voicing, which you might see right here, is we're just going to play the A7 maybe in a couple different spots, and then bar 3, your chord tone is using individual notes from the A7 chord, so you have what they call arpeggios. So you would play that over the 3rd bar. Then 4 goes back to double stops. Bar 5 is chord voicings, but that's a chord voicing of the D chord, so you could play that in a couple different places. Same for bar 6. Bar 7 is back to A, but Never Lost is just the name of a technique from the Stich Method videos, which basically is just like a way to connect different pentatonic shapes together. So you would kind of just play something like, and then bar 8 is minor pentatonic, which is just kind of like just anything from that major or minor pentatonic scale shape. And then we have another minor pentatonic, but that's bar 9, so it's over the D. So you might, or over the E rather, the 5 chord. So you'd want to hit something up in the E pentatonic. And then bar 10, you got the BB box, which is a BB King style of what he does. So we would go back to the A minor pentatonic and play in the BB box position. It would be easier to visualize this if you could see my guitar, but it's not extremely important. And then bar 11, we go back to chord tones. And then hybrid blues scale, which uses some extra blues notes. So now I'll play you a demonstration of the 12-bar blues solo using these techniques instead of just noodling around aimlessly. And I might make some mistakes, but that's okay. You'll get the idea. All right, so if you listen to my first solo and then that solo, that one had a lot more going on in it. And that is the entire point of this app, is now you can either come down here and you can pick what techniques you want to start and stop with and just kind of create a roadmap for what you're going to do in this solo. And like you can practice different ones, like, oh, I want to have chord tones for bars 5 and 6. And I want double stops on 7, and I want pentatonic on 8. Or you could change them all to major pentatonic if that's what you want to practice with today. But I made it to where you can pick, where you can randomize it, and that's where you're really going to start getting good, because you're going to have to really focus, and your brain's going to have to switch over to each technique on the fly. And so once you just start doing this, practicing it like this, your brain's just going to get used to mixing up different techniques, and your solos are going to sound way better than if you just noodle around. So that is the point of this app, and thanks so much for watching.